Okay, Ephraim, thank you so much for coming.
No problem. I'm Ephraim Benton, also known as Fetti. Ephraim Fetti Benton.
Not like Fetti Wap?
Yeah, I was the WAP before Fetti. Of course, I'm an actor. I'm also a producer, also a community activist, also making power moves and everything. So, you know.
Okay.
That's what I do. I put people together.
Okay. I know, going back to that acting thing, don't you have something to share with us?
Oh, yeah?
You're trying to be natural now.
Yeah, I have something.
Let's go. Okay, let's go.
My leaves are the many generations of surnames that drape from my historical branches. I survive off a watered ancestry that has never evaporated in my soil. I'm a man-made diary written when I produce all of you humanoid apples to spoil. Women, you portray my existence. Ever since Eve plucked that pear apple off me and took a bite into life, I've reproduced centuries because the ones before get sacrificed. Ever since my creator planted my descendant seed, I've been a daily tradition sprouting out generations upon generations of human beings. If not for them, I would be bare, formal, and not acquainted with my roots. My bark is filled with a rich background, multicultural with living fruits with spare branches for generations to bloom around. I survived the Ice Age. I brought truce to cold wars. I still got blisters and sores from my slavery chores, mental scars from the Holocaust. I've been smothered by avalanches. I've been chopped down by Washington. And I had people hung from my branches. But still, I stand tall from past to present. I'm everyone's family tree, which our fate lies destined. That's my poem.
Okay, that's when you do the little snap. That was so good. So I asked, for a little monologue or something, but this was good. I appreciate that. When did you put that together?
Well, actually, I wrote that poem when I was a teenager. So I wrote that poem when I was going through stuff in life, before I really got into acting and everything. Every time I would go into castings and everything, sometimes people be like, "Oh, you have a monologue." I'm great at cold reading and, reading scripts and everything, but when they would say a monologue, it's like, I don't have no monologue. And then I looked at my poem one day and was like, my monologue is my poem.
I love it. Here we make a toasted chocolate. And this toasted chocolate can be iced, like how you have iced coffee, yeah?
Ooh, that sounds good.
So, Angela.
Cheers. Cheers.
Okay, so when did it all start for you?
I started maybe when I was like 15, 16. Like I used to always, go to church and act at the church plays and, school stuff when I was younger. But it wasn't until I got kicked out of high school for doing some stuff I shouldn't have been doing.
Kicked out, can't come back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before I became a, actor and all that, I was like a juvenile delinquent for real. Who I ended up getting kicked out of, and Doug's is Jewish, so there was a Jewish boy by the name of Seth Eisman, and he was in the school I went to, art and design, and people used to bully him. I used to take up for him, leave him alone. If anybody messed with you, come to me. Yeah.
Right.
So I
you
did
were
that
a bully on the low too.
I wasn't a bully, but
You handle bullies?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
And I ended up getting kicked out, and the school. Well, I didn't end up in the school. I ended up in the basement of Ingersoll houses. They had like people that was going for their GED, and I was the only one in there that was going for my high school diploma. So they had like little 12 students in the class or whatever. Okay. So I would draw, and this man, Doug Eisman, he would come around weekly and see my artwork, and he'd be like, "Oh, you're good. You know, you should go to graphic arts, art design high school." And I'll be like, "I already did that. Been there, done that." He's like, "Oh yeah, you went to art design?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You know this boy by the name of Seth?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know Seth." He's like, "What's?" He said, "Ephraim." He said, "Oh, you know the boy that my son was telling me that been protecting protecting him all these years, and
Right.
you know, stopping bullies." So from there, you know, from kindness of his heart, he looked out for me, and he ended up recommending me to the alternative to performing arts high school that his friend was just now starting out, which is called New York Public School Repertory.
They have an alternative arts high school.
At that time, there was a lady by the name of Ellen Kirschbaum, and she wanted to help adolescent kids, at-risk youth and everything, that whole thing. So her thing was, if there were kids, you know, regular kids could come in too, but it was mainly for kids that were at their last resort, nowhere to go.
I like that.
And you had to audition for the school. I auditioned for it, and I ended up getting into it, and that's how I got into acting, modern jazz dance and everything, and my life changed from there. Because I was facing like 3 felonies and all that stuff.
Wow.
And I was faced with a task of, you could either go to jail or do this 1-year program, which was an alternative to incarceration. You know, that really helped me, and because the judge, you know, white judge named Judge Corriera, but he played a great role because he didn't sentence me. So I had some key people in my life around 15 that mentored me and helped me change my life.
None of them were related to you.
None of them related to me. It's key that you know, mentors, you have people in your life that could help guide you when you know, lost and on the wrong path.
Because for me, mentorship is huge.
Yeah.
And during that time when your family is just not available, I won't say won't want to help you, but it's not available, that's where outside people play that role. That village, you know, they say it takes a village to take care of a child. So what was your first acting job? Like role or?
And the funny thing is, again, like I said, the reason why I ended up in this path is because Doug Eisman, he actually sent me on my first audition. Yeah, it was for Clockers.
Okay. What was your role that you went for?
It was for the lead role. It was the role that blew Mekhi Phifer up for.
So you went for the same role as Mekhi Phifer.
And the thing about that, what made me fall in love with acting, because it was an open call, but I saw the block. When I got over there, the block was lined up around the corner twice.
Of actors waiting for that role.
Or just the audition
for the
or
Clockers.
Open call. You know, right. You didn't know what was the role.
Right.
And I was like, yo, what is this that's making people do this? I skipped the whole line, seriously. I wasn't trying to wait and all that, so I finagled my way in, but just getting inside the audition, you know, whether I got a call back or not or whatever, it just, that lit the torch for me to, I need to do this right here.
Right.
And that's what set me off with acting.
You didn't get that role. What was the role that you got after for your first role?
Public service announcement, PSA, and they premiered it during
the game,
the NBA championships.
Whoa.
It was a PSA about violence and everything. So this is funny. I'm just coming off being a juvenile delinquent at the time and all that stuff, trying to change my life. And the role I went in with a group of like 4 kids, and we supposed to play bullies, right? And be in front of the camera bullying people. I beat you up and all that, right? So I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. It's kind of easy, right? I was like, you know what? Let me think differently and think outside the box. I started feeding off of them, and I started playing the guy that was getting beat up on camera. So while they be like, I'm gonna beat you up, I'm like, no, don't do that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. And I end up booking the punk. I didn't book another thing till like a year later. I learned the business, like, oh, just because you book this and your face is out there, don't think you're just gonna be working like that. I went through a whole year of auditionings, getting denied, you know, and just having to be consistent and just keep going. And that's when I booked the next role a year later.
A year later. That's a beautiful story. What is or was your favorite role that you've played?
Famous.
Okay, famous. We going famous, not favorite, famous.
I'm gonna come back to favorite role, but my most famous role as far as is Baby Boy, where I played with Tyrese and everything. That was a cool experience. Think about the role for Baby Boy, which is crazy. When they sent out the sides, they sent it out everywhere. I was living in New York at the time, so I had auditioned with my manager, and then she had sent the footage out to Inglewood where their offices were, and that's how I ended up. I went in there, spoke to them or whatever, and it's crazy because I auditioned for Mr. Baby Boy himself. I
Really?
I auditioned for Tyrese
role.
Right? But when John and them called me in, they was like, that role is already taken, right? But we love your stuff so much that we just gonna give you a role. And he gave me the role of Mr. Alexander.
You mean they created it, or was it there already?
It was there.
Oh, but he didn't. You need to audition for it.
No, I didn't audition for it.
Right.
Like, he liked my work so much, my
Right.
audition, that he was like, I'm giving you that role right there or whatever.
What are you activism for?
Just for my community, just to empower the youth, give back, and to leave a legacy and to inspire change for the kids, the community to want to do better, whether it's financially, education-wise, you know, just take care and love the community, love one another, stop the killing.
Right.
From that, you know, I do stuff to try to bring the arts. Like, I've done like little community film festivals.
I also
I've
remember
done,
the
like,
art gallery.
Yeah,
thing.
the art gallery. Just try to expose the community, the kids to that stuff that they don't normally get to see, you know. Because a lot of times we don't have the resources or the money to, well, growing
More
up.
access.
Yeah. You have it nowadays more.
Right.
Way more. You know, you just got to get out and do it. And that's what these parents need to do. They need to get up, get out and do it for their kids at a young age. You know, the arts are very powerful and
Right.
much needed, especially for us. Just put them in programs early on and just, you know, that'll help straighten them out instead of just leaving them to the streets, you
Right.
know.
Or to the video games and the TV.
Yeah.
Are you working on any projects right now as far as filming and for the community?
So I actually took a break.
Okay.
You know, it's
Because it's a lot.
yeah, sometimes you just get burnt out. There was a time when I had all the free time in the world, and it's like, you know what, I'm dedicated to, you know, just giving back the community and everything. And then you hope the community will get more involved, and you hope to, like, there'll be like some young kids so that you can just mold and guide. And
Passing the reign.
well, that rarely happens. You know, and it's like, all right, I don't have that same time I have anymore. I got other stuff I gotta do.
Right.
I'm still in my community, but how I was so involved with the permits, and I don't have that time anymore.
And then acting-wise, what are you?
Oh, acting wise,
I know you just had a film.
yeah, I just produced a film, short film. It's a great short film. It's called Round Table, and it's just a short satire about the black community and the different stereotypes of the black community.
Oh.
And it's about this round table where everybody comes together. They represent each branch.
Okay.
So, you know, we represent each branch of the black community, and we sit down and we have a real conversation about what's going on
In the community.
in the community. It's dope.
So are you just a producer or are you an actor in it?
I'm an actor in it too.
So why you forgot that part?
Yeah, you know.
Oh, you know.
I have some projects that I'm under, you know, non-disclosure agreements with, so I can't really speak about. And 2 years ago, I produced a film, Dope Fiend,
I remember that.
you know, that got a lot of attention.
So I have my thing of 5 things that I want the actors to leave with me, and your first thing you have here is belief.
You gotta believe in yourself that no matter what you go through, no matter what trials, tribulations, no matter what fire you have to walk through, that everything's gonna be all right.
You have reinvention.
No way, I've been able to survive if I just kept trying to act. And, if I'm getting denied and denied and denied, you have to reinvent yourself. Like, all right, what can I do that will help push my acting further, but I'm not solely focused on that at the moment. All right, let me write and develop, me write my own roles.
Right.
So instead of me just acting, now I might have a chance to become a successful writer, director. So you gotta reinvent yourself.
Right.
That's key.
Balance.
Ooh. Balance comes more into play as you get older. Like when you just first out there, you can breathe freely, just do whatever you want to. But when you start to have a family, and if you get married or you settle down and you have kids, actually they become more important than your acting.
Right.
You gotta find a balance to make everyone happy.
Right.
And yourself happy. So,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Because if you're not happy.
Of course. You always gotta make yourself happy.
Right.
Balancing family life, and still, you might not have all those opportunities, but the opportunities that you do have, you gotta make them count.
Right.
So you gotta strategize.
Right.
You gotta
And be
plan it out
prepared.
and be prepared.
Yep. Okay, you have time.
Time is key. And again, you don't learn this until you've been a vet in the business for a long time. When you first starting out, it's like, oh, I'm gonna be the biggest thing. I gotta chase my dreams, passions, and everything. And then along the line, some luck up, but the majority of people, it doesn't happen like that.
Right.
What I started realizing is, I'm living my life.
Right.
I'm not gonna just keep trying to pursue this. I'm gonna live my life and pursue this.
Right.
And understand that
Right.
in this business, where it doesn't matter how old you are.
Right.
You could be famous as a newborn, and you could be famous as you're about to go into your grave.
Right. And you have network.
Oh yeah, networking is key, man. You never know who you meet along the way. Sometimes just open your mouth or be friendly or reach out to people. But it's one of those things, a closed mouth don't get
You're
fed.
fed. The other guest said that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Never look down on people, because you never know, who those people might be, down the road.
Right.
Network is your net worth. I'm gonna drop a gem. One of the most underrated skills is listening. Coming from the streets, you learn to eavesdrop.
Ear hustling. Yep. I live by that. I live
ear
by
hustling,
ear hustling.
man. It's something that you have to just know how to do and not look like you're on people's business. And that, you're in the streets and you survive, and you got to
Right.
keep your ear to the streets and know what's going on.
Right.
So if you apply that same thinking to work in network rooms, just walking by people, playing posted up, listening to people conversations, so you know everything about them.
Right.
So, all right, later on down the line, I'm gonna pick and choose when I go have a conversation with this person.
Right.
Be genuine and everything, but you know about them already.
Right. That's a good one. Thank you for sharing that. It's important to be able to pass on information so people know and not just hide it. Because when we see you, we don't know your story. So thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you for
Aww.
having me. Right here.
It's the truth, right?